my god, Metal Gear.
Watch me swoosh right in! Swoosh!
You see, SpongeBob, me boy, I'm mining Bitcoin.
And now, the winner of this year's egg hunt, Charlie Drex.
I hate you. I think it's time for Jack to let her rip. Anything within, like, what, 100, 150 pixels of me just gets annihilated. I spoke too soon.
What's taters, eh? What's taters, precious?
Talking about cyber demons. I'm not ready for cyber demons. I can barely handle trash mobs, okay? Oh, that's taken care of. You motherfucker!
Can we have, like, team battle golf? Like a red team?
Is there team battle?
Red team, hole in one.
Wait, hold up. That was good, goddamn.
It's not scuffed.
Live from twitch.tv/CharlieDrex, this is the Charlie Drexperience. And here's your host, Charlie Drex. Yes, hi, hello, that's me. Yes, I appeared out of nowhere. I'm good. I totally didn't have VTube Studio disabled or anything. Hi, everybody, hello. Let me phase in a little closer here. Hi. Oh, you guys are so wonderful, and not a canned crowd giving me applause for free or anything. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's yo boy, Charlie Drex, back at again with the show where I interview other small VTuber type people. Welcome to episode number 3. Somehow, against all odds, we are still going. Probably, that's what I'm trying to say, because we're still too small for anyone to care. Oakley dokley. Last week was a doozy, and not in a good way. Sorry, here's the Charlie update while we give our guest a bit more time to prep and maybe for a couple more people to filter in. Last week was a doozy, not in a good way. Wowzers. Pushed not one but 2 streams, ended up switching out my Saturday stream of Transformers Fall of Cybertron to make up the collab I had scheduled for Thursday on Saturday, and it was just a mess. Not all was doom and gloom though, because shortly before the Portal 2 collaboration, I can happily report that while playing Risk of Rain 2, while waiting for my colleague, I managed to pull off my first ever Monsoon clear. No artifacts, no mods, just an angry robot with 2 cannons full of rebar, yes sir. Naturally, I squandered whatever momentum I had last night, as I failed to clear even a single stage on Monsoon with any other survivor. And here I had this vague idea going into last night's stream that, oh yeah, this is it. We're probably going to be able to do at least 2 Monsoon clears tonight, maybe more. No, that didn't happen at all. All that past Charlie stuff aside, what's in the near future? Well, other than tonight's wonderful show, tomorrow night I have a specific game already in mind to play that isn't Risk of Rain 2, just to break the monotony, so look forward to the mystery. And then, of course, the massive event scheduled this coming weekend. Saturday, if you hadn't caught it on my social media, it's actually my affiliate streamerversary, or my affiliate, my Twitch affiliate-versary, or whatever the word would be. It's been a year since I got affiliated on Twitch. Yeah, we'll go with that. Now, obviously, I haven't been streaming the entire interluding year. But still, it's remarkable to me that's been a bit over 1 revolution of the Earth around the sun that I've been quote-unquote streaming seriously, even if it's in fits and starts. Never thought I'd be here, let alone continuing to do it beyond like a week or 2 of idle experimentation. Anywho, ignoring my nostalgia trip, the main takeaway is that to celebrate this momentous occasion, I will be attempting to stream for 24 hours. And everyone who, like, routinely does 24-hour streams every other day is just kind of laughing at me, acting like that's a big deal. But for me, it is, because, you know, I got the demon wage cage holding me back, so I gotta work around that. So, starting whenever I wake up, and, after eating breakfast or lunch or whatever, and going until the equivalent time on Sunday, I will be streaming. Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm not so worried about whether I'm physically able to, because I have pulled all-nighters and played games through, 10, 11 o'clock the next day. It's happened. It's more a question of whether I can focus my teeny tiny attention span long enough to keep creating content the whole time, or even most of the time. We'll see. I do know that at the very least, we will be watch-aloning. We'll be watching the 3 Halloween debuts that are on Saturday night. So that saves me, an hour and a half, 2 hours of decision making on what to stream. So, with that out of the way, I've talked your ear off long enough, and it's time for the feature presentation. Tonight's guest is, I dare say, one of my closest VTubing colleagues, at least on my side of the equation, in the VTubing space. For the most part, I know him as a roguelike streamer, but who knows, maybe there's other sides to him that we'll discover tonight. I know that he's always got my back when it comes to supporting VTuber homies, and I'd like to believe that I've got his. Please, welcome to the stage, my friend, Sin! Where's the applause? Where's my applause? Hold on. Sin! Where's my applause sound? There we go. Sin! Yeah, why is it not playing? Hold on. This is scuffed. I'm scuffing everything. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Let's try again. Sin! Yeah! Woo! He's here! Here he is. The Foogie. Man, I need to get better at this. Still working on it, guys. All right, here's our man Sin. So, Sin,
Yeah?
welcome to the show. How are you this fine Wednesday? Wait, yeah, Wednesday evening. It is Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday.
Wednesday, goddamn. I am literally vibing, you know?
That is a mood. On God, for real. No cap.
For real.
Okay, so I tried my best to kind of give the one-sentence summary, but for the audience, I would like to ask you, in no particular, or actually this particular order exactly, who are you? What are you? What do you stream? And where can people find you on the interwebs?
I'm gonna do the usual introduction I do whenever new people see me. Hello, buddies, guys, viewers. My name is SinFormaVX, SinForma, SinXforma, simply Sin. I'm a Fumo who's a VTuber for fun, and I play roguelike and puzzle games, although I predominantly play Risk of Rain 2. I am a Fumo, and I'm a Risk of Rainer, yeah. And what was the rest of the questions?
It was, so who and what are you? What's your,
Yeah.
what are you? What
am I?
Like I'm Charlie Drexperience, the demon-infused music producer VTuber.
Oh yeah, I sometimes forget that part. I'm a custodian. Yes, you can tell by my attire.
You're a custodian. Would you even say that you perform actions without expectation of compensation for those things that you do?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful. And then, other than SinFormaVX, let me plug that. I need to get a mod at some point in my career. Twitch.tv/SinFormaVX. Where else can people find you on the internet, if anywhere?
Oh yeah, Twitch of course, and other than that, and Twitter. I'm trying to be a little bit more active there. Get a handle on it. Yeah, I know it's going through some things right now. X, I guess.
Social media. Yeah, you post the funny memes and then nobody responds to them, and you feel like an utter fail. Well, okay, maybe I'm just projecting.
Nah. It's yeah. Sometimes I post memes.
Memes are good. I can support this action.
Oh yeah, absolutely, huh?
So, other than the memes and the streaming and whatnot, how long have you been doing this? That is to say, streaming or content creation in general.
That's a good question. I mean, it's been technically since I've been Sin, and only about half a year that I've been actively streaming. I started, what is it, in February? Is where I started doing more or less consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I streamed. One of the first things I streamed once I really got the ball rolling was something I should give another shot at. It's Viscera cleanup detail, you know?
Yeah. That's like
This-
right on brand for you.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the plan. I streamed that for I remember it's for Valentine's Day because I was a lonely little fella. It was a good time. I had a good time relaxing.
Oh, maybe that's something you can explore in the future. Have you always had this background? Like, have you always had a background in creative or artistic things? Like, did you play music in high school or something, or make YouTube videos a decade ago, or anything like that?
No. I'm afraid I was just a consumer of media up until very recently. Never much of a content creator, you know.
Hmm. Well, I, for one, find it quite refreshing to see that you've entered the space, and I don't know, for me, I can say that you're a decent enough producer of the content and whatnot that I think it's worth it.
Cute.
So that leads perfectly into the next question. So you started this, right? I need to know what motivated you. That is specifically for streaming. Did you think it would be fun? Were you trying to get something specific out of it? Was it just looking around and seeing what other people were, having fun and you wanted in on it, like FOMO? But what was like the primary motivation for you?
Primary motivation. It's it's a small mix of a lot of those things, right? It was I just so happened to be friends with a handful of people who were already VTubers, and some of them I would hang out with in like voice chats and stuff, right? It's just shooting the breeze, as you do.
Mm-hmm.
And they suggested, hey, you should give it a shot one of these days. That was a while ago, right? But I never had a concept or idea of what to stream as until just like I said about a year ago. It's been ages since then, but the thing that got me into it and is keeping me in it right now, I guess, is the friends who are VTubers themselves.
I need a crowd reaction. I need to like have a soundboard of like, the crowd going, "Ah." I've already got the applause that I have to like find on my OBS sources to play.
The friends he made along the way.
Hard
Yeah.
mentor. If I may kind of veer off my own path here.
Mhm.
I have noticed as a consumer of SinFormaVX, as a streamer, as content. Has Harg been, would you say that Harg has played a relevant, like a significant role in your career?
Yes. I am worried that I might not be able to put it adequately, word it. He's been very significant in the Sin tubing career, right?
Mm.
He's got a lot of great advice, and
maybe one day he'll start streaming his own stuff on his own channel. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with supporting, but Harg, you're gonna debut any second now.
Oh yeah, that would be the dream. I would love to see Harg be able to stream as well.
Raylong greets you
Hello,
from chat.
Raylong.
But yeah, by no means am I trying to imply that, like, oh, you're only here because of Harg. I do know that, like, I don't want to say it's like basically a buddy stream, but like, he's just chilling and vibing whenever like pretty much any stream I stop by, and I just was kind of curious how, like, was that just an organic thing, or Was it just like you would start streaming while you guys were just hanging out in an open VC, or was it planned at all?
I don't know how it really got started. We would actually, how we got into the habit of that was, he and I would hang out in VC a lot, right? Just talking and having fun, having a good time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And before I got the real good handle on the streaming, I would, of course, just like anybody else, it would be just me, like on the stream, right? Me playing the game, talking to chat, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But after a while, I had chosen to just hang out in VC instead of streaming, and so the stream reps obviously they begin to I started slacking, right?
Right.
I wasn't putting in the hours until I don't know exactly when, but at some point I made the decision to just stream while I'm in VC with my pals, and of course Harg was always there. Yeah, I was always hanging out with him. He's the one that I hung out with the most. So it would just be us two hanging out in VC. Other people show up on occasion.
Of course, of course.
But it's mostly just us two. It's just that I didn't want to leave VC to stream by myself.
Right. It was kind of the. I mean, this was kind of like working towards a motivational point, a nice bullet point for tonight's episode. Like I kind of got this with the Lago episode 2 weeks ago, but having even one person backing you up can really help a lot with streaming. Like just one person to bounce off of, one person to talk to, one person to keep it alive. Because after a certain point, you're ranting at a microphone for 3, 4, 5 hours straight, and especially if you got dead chat, it's just like, man, I don't know how to keep doing this. So I imagine it was just really helpful in that way.
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely.
Well, that's what motivated you. But now that you are streaming, what are some of your goals? Do you have anything concrete in mind that's like, numbers, like, oh, I want X CCV? Or do you have like more, there's a fancy word, metaphorical? No, symbolic goals? Like, the examples I've got are things like going to a con, as like being a panel member at a con, not just, going as 2View, cosplaying as your 2View self, but like being important enough to be a panel guest, as an example of like a dream goal. So like, what are your goals, big or small?
Their goals are all over the place. My favorite, biggest goal, of course, would be, since we're on Twitch, to eventually at some point hit the partner. I think that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I do have that like way later down the line. I have no idea how long it would take or what the journey will be like, but at some point it would be nice to hit partner, right? But everything between then and now, I do like to look at the numbers. I don't stress about them too much. I don't think about them. I like to look at them. They fascinate me because they do things that are just bizarre to me, and I like to try to understand them when they're up, down, or in fucking circles. They're all over the place.
Sure.
What's causing this? But
you're good.
I guess
occasional is fine.
Yeah. Whenever, I guess, with follower goals, I have the silly goal right now. I don't know how silly it'll seem later down the line, but in terms of followers, I have a goal of 1,000, which is big. Subscribers, I technically have a goal set up, but that doesn't matter to me. I hope people like me and like the emotes that Lobotomy Bunny has made for me enough to want to subscribe and use them everywhere. I think that would be cool. And well, the most important goals to me is that I just want for people to know who I am. Like, if somebody mentions VTubing and Risk of Rain 2, they'd be like, "Oh, there's a guy who does that. This is a VTuber. All he
Right.
does is play Risk of Rain 2." Like, if people just like have an idea of who I am.
No,
And,
so it's like you want to be like, you know, what Ninja was to Fortnite, Asmongold was to, well, it was WoW, now it's Final Fantasy. But, like, you want to be that household name for that Risk of Rain 2, why did I say it like that? That Risk of Rain 2 guy, Sin, or SinForma.
Yeah, at least in the VTuber sphere, right?
I mean, hey, if you want to be a breakout star and, like, not star, you know, I get it. Like, there's baggage attached to that, but, like, if you want to be that that identity, that known quantity where people know your name, or at least online know your name. I mean, obviously we are VTubers, so preferably stay VTubers, but whatever path your journey takes you,
Oh yeah,
as long
yeah.
as in the end, you know, you get what you want or close to what you want. I suppose that's the most important thing.
Yeah, for the most part, I want to stay VTuber. That's what I want to be first and foremost, a VTuber.
Mm-hmm.
And another is, could it be considered a goal? It would be nice to get fan art. I think that's like a milestone. Like if I get a piece of art that wasn't commissioned by me myself, something
Right.
that looks pretty. I
Yeah.
think that would be big.
Well, that would definitely be something that, you know, just having fan art's just another sign of, you know, we use the terms making it, but what is making it? Is making it being 1,000 subs? Is it living off of the career, or is making it just being recognized in, you know, half of the EN VTuber space? Everyone has their own definitions. So, real quick before I continue, Claire, you did not miss most of it. We've barely even started. We're in like the first quarter of the Charlie Drexperience. Real quick before we move on, my bank of questions. Billy wants to know who is your favorite Risk of Rain survivor? We'll take a question from that audience.
Oh, that is an excellent question. Holy shit! Hello, Momo.
Oh, yeah, Momo just rated us. Man, why is I hate when my alerts double up like that. Anyway, welcome to the stream, Momo. I know that you were up for. Sorry, Sin. I gotta do the thing.
Yeah.
But I know you were mentioning that you weren't sure you're gonna make it, so I appreciate you stopping by with your viewers. Hello, Momo's viewers and raiders in general. My name is Charlie Drex. I'm the Demon Infused Music Producer VTuber. With me, I have the custodian, Risk of Rain 2 roguelike VTuber, SinFormaVX. We're doing a little interview, getting to know him, and kind of expanding the two-view not atmosphere, ecosystem. That's the fancy word. So hang out for a little bit if you'd like to go ahead and find out what makes Sin tick, and if you wait long enough, you get to have him ask me questions about what makes me tick. So that's your long-term carrot that's dangling. You need to stick around to the end of the interview to catch Charlie's answers.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty, back to the okay, yeah. So Risk of Rain, favorite Risk of Rain survivor. Question stands.
Oh yeah, good question. Yes. So far, from the beginning and even until now, my favorite survivor overall is Bandit. He's so fucking fast.
Mm-hmm.
He pumps up massive amounts of damage. His shotgun procs everything. It's a sight. It's beautiful.
So you said now, would you say that there's one that's like situationally more favorite?
Oh no. Overall, his favorite. My opinion on other survivors though has changed a lot because, of course, anything that comes with a cast of characters, you'll eventually come across a tier list of what the community thinks is good or bad or mediocre.
Mm.
Luckily, Bandit always he's up there. Of course, everybody loves him. But one survivor that I want to mention is Commando. I'm gonna just.
I feel like people sleep on him.
People absolutely sleep on him. He's really good. His slide is great. His grenades, proc bands, his gun is so good. Like people say that with Commando, he's too heavily dependent on items, right? But another way of looking at it is that he can make the most out of every item that he gets. Pretty much, he can make the most out of most items. People just don't know how to make yeah, exactly. Shoot fast, proc bleed. It's so like with bleed. You've played plenty of Risk of Rain 2 yourself. I've seen you've
Mm-hmm.
gotten very good. You can see the way that the bleed stacks. So like Commando's really good at stacking bleed, and I like watching that happen. Of course, you can proc a bunch of other stuff because he shoots fast. Good stuff. No, but yeah, that's yeah. I would I would just say people underestimate Commando. That's it.
Well, that's very insightful. I mean, it's very clear. You have passion for Risk of Rain. We kind of sidetracked, but in a good way. I don't want you to feel like, oh, I screwed up. Like, it's nice to have, you're demonstrating that you're just as passionate about Risk of Rain as you need to be in order to become the Risk of Rain guy. So
Yeah.
that's good that you're not just talking the talk, you're also walking the walk and walking the talk and talking the walk. Next question. Were you a viewer before beginning streaming? And when I say that, obviously you were hanging out in the Discord communities that some of the ones were mutuals in, some that are different, whatever. But before that, I would say even before you were Sin, even before you entered our communities, were you a VTuber viewer for like corpos, for even like indies? Were you into two views even before Sin was even a glimmer in your mind?
Oh, that's yeah. I think I started about a year ago, and more or less 2 years before that. So, like mid 2020.
Mm,
That's when I discovered that one of my friends was a VTuber. Uh, I think VTubing as a whole just completely went over my head or something. I just never came across it. To me, it was never a thing. I didn't see it anywhere until I saw that my friend was a VTuber. Like you're streaming as a little anime avatar on the screen. That's such a novel thing to me. I was like, for me, that was brand new.
mm-hmm.
I had no idea people could do that. I had no idea how it worked. I was fascinated by the whole thing. I was getting to watch my friend's stream thing, and yeah, I wasn't. mm, It's not that I'm not big on corporals. I still don't know anything about them. Like for me, I'm always going to be in the indie scene. So like smaller VTubers are the ones I'm interested in the most, seeing how they grow, how they do.
Mm-hmm. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think that both have their own sort of appeals. The corpos, they have much more production value, obviously. Well, for the most part, you got like really big indies like Shy Lily or whatever.
Hmm.
But they got the production value. They got that massive fan base. You know that for the most part, unless it's a super black company, the talents are taken care of. You know, you're never worried about whether or not the corpo you watch is starving because they're probably going to be just fine. But on the flip side, you got the indies. They don't have to follow all the rules and bureaucracy. They can just kind of do what they want to do. Um, it's just like a more open atmosphere. And obviously, there's the appeal of being the guy or the girl that finds that one view. No one's in chat. You're the only person in chat. It's not so much about like establishing a parasocial relationship, but just like having that feeling of supporting them when no one else would, just so you can push them through the door, through the blockade that most of us go through. Get them to realize, hey, someone's watching, someone cares.
Yeah, that's one thing I enjoy. Well, whenever I mean, it's inevitable. People, VTubers that are just starting out, very small, right? They're not gonna have a very active chats. So, I mean, sometimes it'll be just me talking to the VTuber, and we'll have a lot of back and forth, and it'll generally be a good time. I enjoy those experiences personally.
I can vibe with that. Well, not to put you on the spot, but corpo or indie, whichever the case may be, who's your Oshi?
My Oshi. I love answering this question. I love when people ask me. I think I've said it a few times before, but nobody really knows because
Well, now it's going to be on record.
hell yeah, my Oshi is Liqui. That's her name. I'm confident most people that I know aren't gonna have an idea of who she is. But
I just forget how to spell her name.
it's
Like, I got this. There it is. Nailed it.
oh perfect. Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's it. That's Liqui. And a fun fact about my Oshi. I met my good buddy Harg through her actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's such a fun little story. So back like a while ago when I was a viewer of VTubers, right?
Mhm.
She's one of the ones that I came across very early on, and she has I like her voice. She has an accent. She's German, right? So she's got the very nice accent, one that I enjoy a lot. And when I first watched her, I said, you know what? This is the kind of VTuber that I could probably get addicted to. I might begin, you know, strimping for her. So I'm just going to avoid this because it's gonna get the better of my monkey brain. So the first time I saw her, I avoided her because I'm like, no, I'm gonna get addicted to this. This is bad. And then eventually I did come around because there's like a she was like a part of a handful of VTubers that I was aware of,
Mhm.
and most of them had gone out of the scene. They weren't really much around anymore. And well, meanwhile, she was having like a re-debut of a new model, like kind of a rebranding type thing.
Sure.
And that's when I came back around. I joined the Discord. I watched the streams. I said, this is cool. I hung around her Discord a lot. I talked with her a lot. We became pretty good pals. I think it's very lucky of me to be friends with someone I would consider my Oshi. I think that's a dream for a lot of people. But one of the people that was there was Harg, of course, and he was someone I was aware of before too. Like it's a funny story with us. He was a viewer along with me, and we didn't interact with each other too much, but we were always in the same spaces more or less. We
Mhm.
watched the same VTubers. We were always in the chat, not talking to each other, but talking to the same people. And he was there, of course. He was one of the more active people in the Discord, and I would interact with him there. And I think at the beginning, I don't know what kind of impression I had of him, but we did butt heads like from the start. It was a funny but the rough ride. But eventually, we did hang out, talk about the games and memes. We had a similar sense of humor. We got along pretty well, and I'd say right now he's one of my best buds. And I'm so sorry. Yeah, sorry. My
No.
Oshi is Liqui, the magician VTuber. She doesn't stream too much nowadays, which is very unfortunate. I like to complain, not like unironically, like in a silly kind of way, but yeah.
I'm messing up my. There we go.
She doesn't stream very much anymore, which is unfortunate. But it's from the beginning. She is my Oshi, and she always will be.
Well, I'm glad that you. It's not so much about like. Forgive me if I'm being too presumptuous, but it's more just. More than anything, it's more just you're happy to see her succeed, like as a person, as a creator, more than like any sort of like weird relationship stuff or whatever that some people are into.
Yeah, I think it's a very
Because like that's the point of the like Oshi means it's like it's your motivator. It's the person that kind of motivates you to be more than you thought you could be. Like if it weren't for VTubers, like for the I could unironically say my Oshi is one of my former bosses will say. That is to say, like they were the person that sort of lit a fire under my ass and got me, going, kept me motivated, kept me pushing for more and more achievement at my job and stuff. So it's not like it's where am I going with this? Yeah, it's just it's good that you have someone like that. That
Mhm.
when I say have someone, Like, it's not even a possessive thing. It's just that person's presence motivates you. So, I'm glad to hear that. You said you weren't into corpos, but do you have a favorite corpo? If I held a gun to your head, metaphorically, and asked you?
Hold on. It's a tough question, Jesus, man. Because even from the handful that I know, I can't pick out exactly one. But if I was to pick the first one to come to my head, I would say Pekora because she's funny. I like the memes that come from her.
I need to reword that question because it's supposed to mean favorite corporation.
Corporation. Oh
Yeah,
shit.
which would be Hololive, I'm guessing then.
Yeah, in this case, yeah, I don't. I'm very. Please be patient. I'm too slow to follow.
No, it's just corpo has become such a generic term. We use it to refer to the streamer themselves. We use that shorthand for the word corporation.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so I get it. I get that how that question would be misleading. Yeah, the intention of that question is your favorite corporation because I guess I wrote these and so far all three of my guests so far their Oshi has not been a corpo member. We'll say.
Mm-hmm.
So like the whole point of it was I would ask who their Oshi is. They'd say, "Oh, it's Pekora," and then, "What's your favorite corpo?" "Oh, well, even though Pekora is my favorite, or is my Oshi, my favorite corporation is Phase Connect." I don't know, like or maybe they just say Hololive, but I don't know where I was thinking with those questions. A reminder to the audience: the Charlie Drexperience is a work in progress. We are slowly working our way up to a more professional environment for the interview format. Oh yeah, Pekora, she's funny and has good jokes and good clips. I concur with that. Well, I see where you're coming from. Good choice. You have my approval.
Nice.
Raylon says your favorite will soon be V Shonen.
Oh yeah.
Or no, Oh, because V Shonen doesn't exist yet, but it will. Ha ha ha! Good joke.
I'll hold you to it, Raylon.
So the next question then, getting away from individuals of oh, this person, this corporation, that corporation. What is your favorite kind of streamer specifically? And that's going to be like, do you like people who are variety game streamers? Do you like people that oh, they're a Tekken streamer. Oh, they're a Risk of Rain streamer, whatever. Like they play one specific game or maybe specific genre, a roguelike streamer. Or is it something more out of the box, like you really like ASM artists maybe, or regular artists, music people? What is your ideal streamer do?
I somehow never thought about that before. I kind of just watch a handful of people. I think what I value most in the streamer is how well they can bounce off the chats whenever a chat is acting up and being silly. I guess they're good sense of humor and quick wits like I wish I had. I like to see that in other people.
You live vicariously through others?
Kind of, but not exactly. Be showing producers watching right now. No, I don't want to bungle this up, Puente. No.
Well, you can't win them all.
Yeah, true.
And if there's a V Shonen, I would not. No. They could offer me a contract. They could offer me 6 figures. I'd be like, nah. I want to be in a corporation, but I'm not that desperate. I have standards. They're very low standards, but I have standards. Perfect segue to my next question. I promise you, it's written down. Do you want to someday be in a corporation? And if so, what is your like ideal dream destination, if you have like any specific corporation in mind?
Nah, in terms of getting signed up to anybody specifically, I guess I don't have anything specific in mind. But I mean, like, if I got an offer to be in a corporal, I would. I want to say I would probably take it, but I don't know. Like, if I got just one, then maybe. If I got a handful, then like I guess I'd pick between them. But like, I think that's what's the word? I don't know how to put it, but like yeah. If I got an offer to be in the corp, I would probably take it. But specifically, I don't know. I don't know the corpos.
Well, it's like you have to balance. Yeah, you get the quote unquote prestige of being a real corpo VTuber, but then you've got to deal with the contracts, you've got to deal with the terms, you got to deal with the rev split, you got to deal with the permissions issues, you got to deal with the crazy psycho fans that want to kill you when you do something bad, quote unquote bad in their perspective. Like I can see, you know, if you take away like any sort of like compensation aspect from it, being a corpo is not, you know, I used to just a couple months ago. I could totally see where anyone was coming from, or I couldn't see where anyone was coming from. When they're like, "Oh, I would stay indie." I'd be like, "What? Why would you turn down?" No, now that like I've seen behind the curtain a bit, I'm not sure I'd be necessarily that quick to jump on the bandwagon for it. I'm about to sneeze. Hold on, chat. You're gonna get a Charlie sneeze if my limiter doesn't cut it out. Phew! Phew! Yeah, I actually go at you when I sneeze. Deal with that.
It's that iconic Charlie sneeze. Bless you.
Thank you. So, is there any dream collaboration that you want to do? Now, when I say that, remove all barriers of, oh, I'm not a corpo. Oh, I don't do the same kind of content with them or as them. Anyone who is an internet content, a streamer, a streaming content creator, we'll say. Because I didn't like, I wanted to leave it open if you wanted to, you know, flesh streamers, if you want to collab with them. But if you could collab with anyone in the live streaming space, virtual or fleshy, which would you collab with? Who? Not which.
Yes, Harg, I'd probably collab with a living person. I would. I don't know. If I want to give a simple, straightforward answer, I would probably say Pippa. I think that would be fun.
It's just chaos incarnate, you know, just the race to be canceled as quickly as possible.
Oh, yeah. I think, I don't know, my values are kind of weird. Like, if I could run this into the ground, then if I can make it entertaining, that's all that I value entertainment above everything else.
Right, absolutely. Go out with a bang, not a whimper.
Yeah.
Well, that's a solid answer. I would probably put Pippa Pipkin up there as well myself. But enough about the VTuber world. That is the virtual anime live streamer character world. Let's go to the anime world. What's your favorite anime?
Right now, I would say Demon Slayer.
Got that.
I've been having a good time watching that anime. It is so good. I read the manga for it. I fucking loved it.
What does it for you most? Is it the aesthetics of it, or the story, or like the characters? And no cheating and saying, oh, it's all of them. Like what one thing for you is like, do you think is like what drives your appreciation for it the most?
Yeah, for the manga, of course, it was a story, but for the anime specifically, I love the fights. The fights are so good.
It's not Shaft, is it?
What?
The studio that makes it?
Oh man,
It's...
I'm a little.
Hold on. Oh yeah, that's it. Ufotable. Unlimited Budget Works. So naturally, they already make the sick, nasty Fate fight scenes. So it goes to show that when it comes to artsy fighting, they know what they're doing. Because they got like the whole like flowing waves and stuff, and like the waters blade, like the old ancient Japanese art. Whenever they're using their abilities or whatever.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Are you good? Are we good?
Yeah. We're good. We're
Okay,
good.
just making sure. Okay, well, yeah, I can totally see why that would be the case, and I agree with the visual presentation is definitely something unique. I would almost say unique, because I really can't think of any other anime that has that sort of stylistic choice. So, right on.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite, genre over everything, though? Like shonen, isekai, cute girls doing cute things, whatever, the slice of life. What's your favorite genre?
Man. Yeah, when it comes to like either anime or manga, I have two moods. I like either cute girls doing cute things or big beefy men beating the shit out of each other.
The totally polar opposites, but I guess I can see where sometimes you're in the mood to beat up things, sometimes you're in the mood to beat. What's the most recent anime you finished?
Finished.
Or caught up to the current season if it's like still airing.
Yeah, that would be Demon Slayer. I don't actually watch too much anime.
Shock.
Yes. I'm looking forward to more Chainsaw. Another one too.
Well, that was the kind of the next question is there anything you're looking forward to watching that hasn't come out yet? So obviously Chainsaw Man continuation. Anything besides that?
No, I think it would be more Demon Slayer anime and more Chainsaw Man. And yeah, for now that's it. If something else comes across, I guess that's fine too. But mostly it's those two right now.
Is there anything in the past in terms of series that you look back and you never got the chance to watch yet, but you want to at some point in the future? That is like, did you never watch Ava and you want to check it out at some point, or anything like that? Any sort of old series that you missed but would like to try?
Oh yeah. It probably sounds bad. I never watched Cowboy Bebop. I need to watch that.
Nobody appreciates Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop and Space Dandy. I need to finish Space Dandy.
What? Hold on. There's a dispute in chat.
No,
Harg,
Space
Harg.
Dandy.
I was saying Ava as an example of maybe that's like an old series that Sin hadn't watched. That I've watched Evangelion. Have you watched Evangelion, Sin?
No, I've been.
All right,
I've had a good.
Harg. If you're gonna kill anybody, kill Sin. Metaphorically, we don't condone violence here on Twitch.tv/Charlie Drex.
Yeah. This is
The
this is a fun
Automod really
interview.
doesn't like that, Momo. All right. I'm gonna deny that request. Okay. Ava. You should check out Ava, Sin. It would probably be good for your health to check it out at some point and watch it. It's a cerebral, psychological. It's just time for lightning round. All right.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Oh, it's a smooth segue.
Yeah.
What's your favorite kind of cheese?
American.
Is it really, or are you just like,
I'm not too picky with cheese. I had American on sandwich sometimes.
Me, I'm more of a Munster kind of guy. I like how it's like sort of like it's like creamy, but it's not too creamy and soft. But anyway, lightning round continues. How many countries have you ever visited?
Two.
You are a well-traveled man. Chocolate
Yeah.
or peanut butter? I will not give you further context.
Chocolate.
Right on. What's your favorite color?
Gray.
All right, I'm going to leave this one. This is still part of the lightning round, but we're going to ask that last because on retrospect, it's probably... Anyway, pineapple on pizza, based or cringe?
Cringe.
Based. That you think it's cringe. And so this isn't really a lightning round question anymore because I know we've had conversation about this. What's your favorite genre of music?
Oh, that's...
Because that's for the audience members who don't know. I found out that Sin is a fellow appreciator of electronic dance music and the like 5 bajillion subgenres there are for it. Because no,
Yeah, I like...
not everything with a modulated bass is dubstep. That's not how it works. Bangarang is not dubstep. Deadpool 2 lied to you. That song's not... It's not dubstep. Okay, anyway. What's your favorite genre?
Yeah, there's a handful. The one I keep going back to the most is bass house. I like bass music. Bass house is like that one, and drum and bass. Good old drum and bass. Those two I always come back to.
But is there like any particular... Like, because there's like liquid, there's neurofunk, there's like... There's lots of different flavors of drum and bass. There's melodic.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The subgenre of drum and bass that's nearest and dearest to my heart is neurofunk. That's most of what I listen to.
Because for me, it's like more about... Oh, sorry. And finish your answer before I start ranting about me and myself.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's most of what I listened to, like in high school. That was one of my earliest introductions to drum and bass was neurofunk.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess something that's technically a subgenre of drum and bass, I think. I like the name of this genre. It's called death step.
Death step.
Or no, not death step. No, that's no dark skull step. There you go, skull step.
All right, we're gonna do something a little different for the Charlie Drexperience. We're gonna play some... You said dark step or death step?
No, skull step. Pardon me, it's skull step. So like...
All right, guys, here we go. We're going to listen to the first result for the best Skull Step Drum and Bass Mix 2022.
I bet have some current value in there.
Oops.
Lip step.
Okay. All right.
Skull step. Yeah, skull step and death step aren't related at all. They're only... They both have step in the name, but they're both very different.
I mean, two-step and dubstep and all of its subgenres, like, the only thing they share is single backbeat. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned current value. Yeah, there's like 5 of their songs on this set list. So
good.
I mean, I can vibe with that. See, the main thing I hate with Liquid is how Liquid, they like just ignore the kick drum entirely. So like the best way I can put it is like everything's in the highs is what you call it for like producing. Like it's all the hats and the snares, and it's just like a really high titchy sound, I guess. Like I don't know, like ticking sound more than anything. And like I like my songs to still have their kick nice and prevalent. So that's why with this you still got the boom 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 boom. You got that bass drum still in there. So I can fuck with that. Right on, man. All right, so lightning round being over, we're finally moving on to the video game round. What's your favorite
video game?
What's your favorite franchise or intellectual property?
Well, I would have to say Risk of Rain 2. I don't...
If
Not
you
too much
i-
of a gamer, I swear to God.
if you were stuck on, oh, actually, I guess it's a roguelike. I was gonna say if you were stuck on a desert island, but I guess that the roguelike would probably be the best kind of game to have on a deserted island. Really? You're
Yeah.
not into games? I thought you're like a big gamer guy.
Well, I do enjoy my video games. I just haven't had much variety. I guess. Yeah, I don't remember much of what I played growing up. And all I know is what I play now, I guess. Working for free, yeah. I do enjoy working for free. Everything I do it for free.
Well, for now. Hopefully that'll change in the future as people come to
Oh,
appreciate you more and more as a content creator.
yeah.
Well, this is kind of a silly question, but do you have a favorite genre?
Oh, love that question. Yes, it's roguelike.
I had to ask. It was on the list. I just, contractually obligated. You see.
Yeah. Oh, it's I like it the most because it's super. Like for me, it's very non-committal. Like a lot of games, you pour hours into and you make like huge chunks of progress. Whereas with roguelikes, you can runs are like at least from the ones I played are like about an hour long.
Mm,
You can play through the whole game. You can experience like well, not all of it. Every like from beginning to end, it's always a different experience. What items you get, what kind of stages, environments, even the character that you play. So much, such a big mix and variety. He dives into traditional roguelikes. There, what's the word? Daunting, intimidating.
sure. It's like
Yes,
that when you're playing the game, you don't have to set aside, you know, 2, 3 hours to feel like you got a good night's worth of playing out of it.
you, what do you mean? What's with that interrobang? What did he mean by this?
What I meant was when you're playing a roguelike, you just you're talking about Harg. I thought you were talking about me.
No, I understood you. Him is he's the little enigma.
Traditional roguelikes, 15-hour runs. Man, you talking about like that old like Rogue itself on the Commodore? I think it's on the Commodore. Sounds right. Commodore C64.
The rogue.
The likest of the rogues being Rogue itself.
Rogue is on Steam, brother.
Well, I am far weaker than you or Harg or any of the other roguelike enthusiasts. Risk of Rain like gets away with it because it's like really action oriented, but I just I can't do roguelikes, man. Like it's just I on the flip side, I just don't like losing progress. I don't like having to start over. I like steadily progressing, steadily power creeping towards more and more power as my playthrough progresses, and then eventually there's an end, and or I get bored halfway through playing the game and like abandon the save file with like 20 hours done, and it's just Abby's out here trying to push Noida.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's another one I want to give a try.
that's yeah. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Have you heard of the finishing the darling roguelike obscure nature it's called Noida? Yeah. Yeah.
Free Abby lessons, I'd be down for that.
Abigail gives lessons in Noida. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, it's a cream of the crop.
Have I tried Cult of the Lamb? Actually, yeah, yeah. I just streamed it a while back when it was fresh and new. Uh, for me, it was a hell of a lot of busy work maintaining cults members. Man, some very notable interactions in Cult of the Lamb I've seen is that cult members like to prank each other. They like feeding each other poop.
Zero context. Awesome. This makes yep. That sounds right.
Drug like experience.
We
Fucking love that. Hell yeah.
when you're just hanging out with your cult and you're like, "Hey man, eat this," and it's fecal matter. Ha ha ha. Classic.
Yeah, no, they're feeding it to each other. They're like, hey, hey, boss, you see that guy over there? Wouldn't it be funny if he ate poop? I can't tell them no, because then they'd get upset. And the one being fed, obviously he's gonna be upset, but like, I don't know. I'm not good with these decisions. I'm a people pleaser, and I want to keep my cult happy.
Is this what playing roguelikes does to a man? Maybe I should
Yes.
maybe I should just stay away from them even more than I already have.
Yeah, don't worry. There's no silly pranks, and well, there's a shitload of pranking in Risk of Rain 2. You could get jump scared by an elder Lemurian.
Oh yeah, that happened to me last night as a matter of fact. It wasn't so much jump scared, I just got point blank to him and then he reminded me that he launches 5 projectiles at once.
Yeah, they love doing that. They love spawning right outside of your field of view. And they like putting you in the dirt. Run end immediately because you weren't looking in the right direction.
And that's totally your fault and you should just get good. Skill issue.
Try playing on a easier difficulty. You died in a funny pose. Phrases like that.
Ha ha ha. Yep, and then you play Drizzle, and then everybody, or you play an easy difficulty, and everyone's like, "Ooh, you're playing roguelike, and you're not playing on permadeath, mega death, ultra death, literally kill yourself mode." No, I'm sorry. For me, I'm just not masochistic enough. I don't derive pleasure from it. Like the momentary bursts of satisfaction from completing a run are not worth the sheer utter mauled that I go through every single time I fail. What are you, casual? Giants,
Man,
giants, become unstoppable.
man, I think that's one advantage I have personally. Like as just a person, I don't tend to get mad at video games very much.
Well, I mean, that's, I envy you that because, I mean, I don't like get rage and start well, I don't really have a controller, but I don't start smashing my keyboard and stuff, but I'll just like, just it'll be like one outburst. I'll just be like, crap, except it'll be like a, much more vulgar word than that, or phrase, or strain of profanity. It depends on just how seething I am. But
There's actually thinking about it now. There's actually one game that actually has gotten a very harsh reaction from me.
mhm.
It's Darkest Dungeon. You ever played Darkest Dungeon, Chuck?
I have not played it, but I have watched you play it.
Yeah, I played that a lot. So the fun thing about Darkest Dungeon, you know how it is, right? You have your party of heroes. You send them on expeditions, and hopefully they'll make it back alive, stronger than they were before, more experienced. Come back with cool loot. Give them stuff you can equip them with, things
Mhm.
like that.
Right.
And God, there was this one time where I was streaming it, right? And I had named, because you can name your heroes, right? I had named them after a couple of my buddies. And when one of them died, when one of my named heroes died, I got so fucking upset. I just ended the stream right there and stopped playing.
Hmm.
But that is the only game to have like made me rage quit.
Well, that actually just happened to me with Alien Isolation last, and that's actually what drove me into the arms of Risk of Rain. Is I was playing Alien Isolation, and obviously that's not a roguelike, obviously, but it was just the same sort of thing with unpredictability that makes me so annoyed in roguelikes. It was happening in Alien because, uh, have you played the game, or like, are you familiar with it in a grand sense?
Well, not not really. Besides watching you.
Mm, I appreciate that. But it's so yeah, it's a survival horror, but it's the same vein of like Amnesia or Penumbra or Outlast or any of those other like, oh, you're walking and maybe sometimes running around an abandoned whatever, and there's a monsters stalking you. But I think it was the second or third time I had the confrontation with the titular xenomorph, that, like, I had to hide an event or something, which, okay, fine, I get that. But then it didn't have any sort of pattern. And I can understand that the game did its job perfectly, and that it frustrated me. It you know, oh, the AI was so good because it was, you know, too smart for me. But it was just so annoying because I would, like, you had no visuals the way that the game worked, that whenever you're like in the hiding areas. So I'm trying to use, like, I want to believe I have decent hearing, but I'm like trying to listen and hear where's this freaking alien. And there's actually one time I like popped out of the vent because I thought I had heard it walking away, and oh no, it was just it had walked off to the left, and I literally saw its tail as I was in the forced canned animation to climb out of the vents. I'm like, oh great, it saw me. But it was just like I kept having to like just sit in the vents for 5-10 minutes at a time, just like walking back and forth along the vents, going, is it over here? Is it over there? Peek out. Oh no, it's right there. Oh no, it like must have noticed me or something. And it's just the constant waiting and seeing and pausing and waiting, and I just couldn't do it. I whatever. Call me a child brained whatever, you know, jingly keys, zoomer brain, action sequences. Like, I can play games with some amounts of depth and rational thought and such, but it just felt too chance based for me, because I was just trying to leave the fucking vents, and the alien would always seem to be there, or it'd see me from across the room even though I was behind cover. It's like, well, what was I supposed to do? I felt like DSP. I was like, oh, what was I supposed to do? The game's bugged. I didn't even do anything, right? I had that sort of feeling. So I was just like, screw it, I'm done with Alien, and then I went to Risk of Rain. So, when I screw up in Risk of Rain, it's like, okay, I only lost an hour of progress, and I know exactly what happened and what went wrong, so I don't feel so bad about it.
Yeah.
All right, so now that I've finished ranting, the D in Charlie Drex stands for DSP. Yes, that's right. I'm Charlie Darkside Phil Rex. You solved the mystery, Harg. I do have one last question before you switch the sides. Turn the tables. The turntables have turned. Is there like a game or genre that you want to get into but you don't have time for? So like if you always looked at Factorio and you're like, man, I really wish I could invest the time to get into this game, or you look at people playing arena shooters or battle royales and you're like, man, I wish I could spend, you know, 6 hours a day just grinding on that kind of game. So like, is there anything like that, or are you pretty much set with your roguelikes?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I would say Rim, like colony simulators, like RimWorld. It's something I wish I could get into, but I'm afraid I don't have the patience, or I would probably lose interest too quickly and miss out on a lot. Just colony simulators in general. One that I've played and never ever got a hang of was Oxygen Not Included.
Mm.
Have you ever seen that or played it?
I've heard of it, but I haven't played it.
Yeah, it's very very complicated game. A lot more than I realized when I first played it, and having my little fellas die because you start off with like 3 people and they dig out. It's like, how the hell do I describe it? I don't know. Anyways, I tried to look up tutorials and there were like 12 hours worth of tutorials,
Mm-hmm.
and I watched them, but I never actually played the game. It was too much. I wish I had the patience for that, I guess.
Oops, sorry, ignore that. All right, well, that was the end of my bank of questions. So I need to come up with a graphic for this. Now it's your turn to ask me questions. I have sent you, very recently, the bank of questions from which I drew. So now it's your turn to ask me questions. I'm going to give you We'll say 3 with the option to extend it to 4. Of the questions I asked you, you can turn around and ask me any 3 that you are yourself curious about.
Yeah. One thing I'd like to ask you here on this show is what motivated you actually?
So, when everything was popping down in mid 2020, I was in my past life as Charles Vessel, the human side of me. Remember the Charlie Drexperience, everybody. Charles Vessel, he had a job that was there was no work from home for me. There was no no, I was working, continuing to work. And I never was like, super in the dumps like some people were, we'll say. Keep it kind of family friendly. But during everything that was going on in mid 2020, just between having to go to work and deal with working when nobody else, or it felt like not everybody else had to. I was down, just not like clinically depressed or anything, just kind of like, wow, I have a really negative feeling about the just life in general. And at some point, I think the first VTuber related video that was ever recommended to me / I ever watched was Fubuki's Scatman. I'm like, I looked it up once, but I'm like 98% sure it was one of either Fubuki's Scatman video or something with Corona. I can't remember exactly what. Both Hololive VTubers for your reference. I know you said you're kind of, but yeah. So I watched it because I had occasionally seen VTuber content or clips recommended to me. As a reminder, this is back when it was only JP streamers. I had occasionally seen the clips recommended in YouTube, and I had seen Kizuna I, that's how you say it. Anyway, I had seen Kizuna I videos, throughout the past couple years before that, and yeah, I thought it was, cool or cute, but same as like, watching anime. I got the concept, I did understand the concept, but it's just like, okay, whatever, this does nothing for me. But then, yeah, I saw Fubuki or Korone or both. Started watching Hololive clips. Started actually watching Hololive. And then, as everything sort of started blossoming out, and we started getting, the English generations, and then male generations, and then English male generations. Well, actually, the male generations came before the English generation. Anyway, more than anything, it wasn't about recognition or being famous or whatever, but it was the feeling of these VTubers, these content creators produce things that it brighten people's days up during a really particularly dark period in the world, because it was a worldwide thing, obviously. And I just wanted to be part of that. And yeah, I'd always dreamed of myself of an entertainer in some capacity, but the VTubing space specifically, obviously, I didn't have to worry about my face. I didn't have to worry about my past life or who I was before. I could just create content and be an entertainer, and it would be 100% about the content and not about who I am or whether I, dressed up that day or whether I'd taken a shower yet or whatever the case. If I woke up late, like, my avatar would always look the same. So that's kind of what motivated me, was just wanting to be an entertainer, wanting to brighten other people's days, and VTubing specifically because of witnessing and seeing how much it did for the world in terms of just life satisfaction in the really dark periods of 2020. Endo.
And very, very insightful. I guess on to the next question. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, something I'd like to ask you. Who is your Oshi?
Mume, man, we need to get. Y'all need to start what? Hey, whatever. Hey, audience. As long as people aren't watching previous episodes of Charlie Drexperience, you're gonna get the same answers, the same questions every week. Anyway, no, you're good. Yeah, this is gonna be just. Sorry, I guess that was kind of like. That's gonna be part of the fun. Maybe not everyone can. Okay, we're gonna. Sorry, I needed to disable redeems during this. I forgot about that. Thanks, Billy. Awesome. Sorry. Kind of annoying. Yeah, but we'll make that part of the thing that I'm trying to like talk over it. All right, so for reference, we're gonna be disabling redeems from now on for Charlie Drexperiences. So like okay, back on it. Get your act together, Charlie. Anyway, okay, so in terms of the questions, yes. So what we'll say is that it'll just be every week, you know, everyone can ask whatever questions they want to ask, and maybe you weren't able to tune in the last week, so now you see that what the answer was that you missed. Anyway, my Oshis, plural. Nashe Mume and Hoshinova Muna from Hololive. The reason remains because they are both singers / creators who are in situations where they couldn't like perform as much as they wanted to due to their living situations, and I just find it really cool how they were able to leverage their corporations' aspirations to become performers that, like, you know, they took what they got from becoming corporate and successful VTubers and were able to move into situations where they could be the performers they wanted to be. Because that's where I am. Like, I'm surrounded by neighbors and the demon tenements, so can't quite do everything I want to do in my entertainment career, and kind of envy them for that. And then obviously they're, you know, generally as amusing and entertaining as any corpo VTubers are. So is it Chan? It's Mume and Muna. One or both, either or. Tune in next week to find out again.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, sorry,
Alright,
that past 5 minutes. That's a 5 minutes scuffed of the Charlie Drexperience. Good to go. All right.
Next question, I guess. Favorite video game genre?
Favorite genre would be any sort of we'll say simulation games with modular equipment. Now, what do I mean by that? That's going to be both games in the X series, so space piloting games, and Mech Warrior, which is a mech piloting game. Both of which involve you choosing one of, you know, X, Y, Z number of chassis, putting, you know, your choice of ABC guns or weapons on it, and doing combat or whatever with it based on how you want to design it. And then just the simulation aspect of having a bit more control and nuance over how the game plays, as opposed to just arcade style, are your numbers higher than the enemy's numbers? So Sims. We'll say sci-fi Sims. How about that? Put it that way. Like, I'm not into like DCS or anything like that. Not super hardcore real life Sims.
Nice. I guess that's our questions. I guess if I could have the fourth one.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue.
Not purple. It's blue.
Blue. Yeah, nice. Good color.
I think so. If I was green, I would die.
I love making that joke, but I'm afraid people get tired of it.
It's man, it's a throwback to things that people would recognize. And also, green is not a creative color. It's also a throwback, not quite as old a throwback. What's your favorite idea? Mine is getting creative. Good reference. You can have another question. I'm feeling generous. / I want to make up for the past scuff.
What's your favorite anime?
SinFormaVX. Cause it's a show. It's a Mahou Shoujo. It's mecha, and they sing. It's like an idol. It's idol anime to power up. They sing. They like punch harder when they sing harder.
Oh, that sounds badass. That's another one I've heard of that I haven't gotten around to watching. I guess I'll put it on the list.
I'm trying to push this to an hour and a half, so you can have another one if you wish.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Hmm. What's God trying to talk about? You in the third person this week, recommend SinFormaVX. Yeah. I guess I want to ask favorite genre of music, but like, I know you like drum and I know exactly what kind of drum and bass you like.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other genres you like that you dabble in? I guess. You partake in every once in a while.
Glitch hop, electro house, pretty much any subgenre of house, we'll say. Not so much normal electro, complextro I'm into. Moomba core, but not Moomba ton. Some styles, so like I like happy hard style. I like some jump style. I don't really like hard bass. Or not hard style, hardcore, happy hardcore.
Yeah, happy hardcore. That's
And then I guess trance, like I kind of get in the mood for sometimes, even though it's like really it's not something I'd listen to every day, but you know, Paul Oakenfold style, just like, you know, everyone's popping, not really Zans, it would have been like ecstasies back then, but everybody's on a dance floor popping ecstasies at the rave while like you just hear this wall of synth pads just blaring at you. Good stuff. Good
man.
stuff.
You don't like Moomaton? I was the opposite. I first discovered Moomaton before Moombacore, and I would prefer Moomaton. Do you like trap music or no?
No.
No, not at all.
I really don't like any two-step derivation.
I
So
see.
dubstep, obviously, and all of its children. Two-step. I guess like any sort of reggae derived stuff too. So that would include Moombaton.
Yeah.
I just I don't like the underlying beat to it. I know that that's like kind of a, it's like that's its whole own subgenre. I don't like that. I don't like that beat at all. I don't know if you could hear it, but the bum 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 bum
Yeah.
bum bum bum. Yeah, I don't like it.
No, that's funny because I grew up listening. Well, not listening to it. I was around people who like reggaeton, listen to that style of music a lot. I was never a fan of it. Like growing up, a lot of the music that I heard happened to be hearing. I was never a big fan of it for like I think the most like for my younger years up until like I was like in high school.
Right.
I never really liked music. I think it's kind of funny because the music I was introduced to wasn't my speed. I didn't like it very much. It was rap and reggaeton, and I wasn't into it until I don't know how. like somewhere in high school, I discovered electronic music, and of course, the first one was dubstep and techno.
Mm-hmm.
Like actual, like just straight up dubstep. I think the first artist I ever listened to was Cookie Monster.
Damn. That's all right. Well,
Yeah.
What 2008 was 40 years ago.
Yeah, it was forever ago, man.
Hmm.
We're fucking old.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're clearly a young. The game console you had growing up was a PlayStation. Fucking what would it be? A PlayStation 4, right?
No, man, it's consoles. I switched consoles a lot. I guess that's why I was never consistently following any franchise. Because when I was a small little baby, I played a Nintendo, an NES. I had an NES, and then from there we got. I think after that we had a PlayStation 2, and then after that I got an Xbox 360, and then after that I got a Nintendo Switch. Then after that I just moved to gaming on PC.
You went from NES straight to PS2.
Yes, this is a massive leap. I don't remember.
That's like 4 generations.
I know I
Three,
didn't
4.
grow up playing video games too much. All I remember is I had an NES because my mom tells me you played Super Mario. I'm like, I did. It's crazy.
At some
But
points, probably, maybe.
probably. And then PlayStation 2, I had like a handful of games and I played the shit out of them. I've had this. Well, did you have a PlayStation 2?
No, I have an older brother. That's my excuse. But I grew up in
Oh,
mostly Nintendo household, so Super
wow.
Nintendo, N64, GameCube, and then because this was at the point where he was old enough that like he could buy it on his money that he earned at his part-time job. And anyway, he got 360 from GameCube, so that's like when I also just by osmosis started picking up that there were other video game platforms than Nintendo ones. And then I pretty much followed a similar trajectory to you where it was just like that. And then once I hit Demon College, I actually built my first computer then. And obviously, I was away from home, had my own control, my own internet, my own choice of whether to put video games or whatever on my computer. And yeah, became a PC gamer predominantly.
Based.
So that's my own journey along those lines. I'll give you one more for the road.
One more.
Make it a
One
good
more.
one.
How many countries have you visited?
Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does being off the coast of one count? Like being on a really big ship, like anchored off of one?
Yes, for this instance,
6,
yes.
7. No, he actually didn't stop there. 7.
7, wow.
Yeah. United States, Mexico, Singapore, United Arab Emirates, Dubai, or not Dubai, Oman, Sri Lanka, Australia. Wait, is that 6 or 7? And we are off the coast of India. Does Guam count as its own country?
Guam?
No, it's U.S. territory. Dumb question.
Yeah. Mexico mentioned. Yeah, I was gonna say this. Besides, I've only been out of the states to go to Mexico.
I mean, I was in the. Is that part of my kayfabe? I don't know. I was part of the Demon Navy. For anyone who doesn't know, I feel like I should just like make that part of my lore, because like I haven't really made a secret of it. Yeah, I was in the Demon
Oh.
Navy, so that kind of helped.
Demon Navy. How was your time in Mexico?
I didn't stay there very long. It was pretty much a trip over the border with some friends who were there for it, it was something dumb. Legal but dumb. But yeah, I was basically just there to be an extra body cuz one thing I do know is you don't go over the border alone.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like I mean it's not like there's not even like trying to like make it just yeah. People on the
No,
border
no, yeah.
because it's not a question of what country it is. It's just near borders of countries, things go really sideways. So
Yeah,
yes,
believe me,
Harg,
I know.
the Mexico filter is real. Everything is yellow down there.
I have seen this. It's real. It's true.
You cross the international line, and just it's like God slaps a filter in front of your eyes, and just everything goes amber and like just this like sickly jaundice flavored color permeates the air.
Dystopia.
All right, well, with that fantastic question asked as the last part of our series. Thanks for stopping by, Sin. You've been a great guest. You did much better. Oh, you did well. It was good. Everything was good. We're good. Audience, you appreciate Sin, right? You guys, he was a good guest. Good questions were asked. Good answers were given. You did fine,
Tried
Sin.
my best. Thank you.
No, it was all good. And plus, you're only guest number 3, so there was, like, really low expectations. I mean, not to say that, like, you didn't meet and surpass those expectations, but they were low. There weren't a lot of people hanging out. One day, you'll have to come back for the reunion that Lago made me promise. 100th episode reunion. I'm gonna have, like, a 1-minute burst of every guest I've ever had, if they're even still streaming.
Oh, that would be so fascinating. After 100 episodes, who's still around?
Right.
Oh man, I wish I had done something like that when I was a viewer.
And then just like like I said, there's like a 1-minute power interview with everyone. Just like, hey, you still streaming? You know, what's up with you, etc. All right, next guest. Anything you want to shout out in terms of like events for you that are coming up? Any like, you know, oh, it's my birthday coming up. Oh, I've got a marathon next week. Anything like that?
Oh god, no. I don't have anything. Well, anything that's happening soon. I don't have anything to show. I think I'll mention it. I'll mention my birthday here for
Oh.
anybody who listens all the way.
Oh,
It's something I don't like to think about like at all. But a couple of fun facts. My birthday is on May 11th, so it was about 2 months ago, right?
yeah, that's in the past.
Yeah, and that's the day I decided to hit the affiliate switch. So my affiliate anniversary, whenever that comes around, is gonna be on my birthday. But I would rather celebrate that than my birthday. I don't want to think about aging.
I mean, that's it's just another, it's like an arbitrary day. Like people say, oh, you're a year older on your birthday, but you've gotten a year older over the entire 365 days leading up to it. It's not like when the day itself actually happens, there's some magic, just objective reality that now you are 85 or whatever. I don't know how old you are.
Yeah, I like to forget my own age too. It makes me feel better.
Me, I'm an eternal demon possessing some weirdo who was a SoundCloud producer, so I don't really care about age myself.
Good. Yeah, my birthday's the two things, that thing, and it's the day I stopped drinking.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I say congratulations. I don't. You made the choice, and you made the choice. Good for making that choice. I want to ask if it was like for a reason, because that's your own thing. But you just
No, you can ask if it was for a reason. Uh, if I was totally truthful, the biggest reason was that I couldn't afford to drink as much as I did. It was very expensive.
mm.
Yes, and it's that's the honest truth, you know, because most people, because being deep into alcoholism, it ruins people's lives, right?
Right.
So it's for me, I feel kind of like a jackass because that's my reason. I mean, it did improve my life better. I had more money. My relationships with the people around me was better. My relationships with the people online, because I had a bad habit of getting drunk and just talking to people like
Mm-hmm.
online, real life. I think I've been sober for 3 years now.
Congratulations. It's not easy to keep up those dry streaks, but if you can do that, you can become a successful VTuber. I believe in you.
Thank you. I believe in you too, man. You're
Now,
gonna have your
let's
celebration.
be realistic here, okay?
No, you're gonna have to make it. You already promised Lago in episode 100 of the Charlie Drexperience, so
All right, Sin, you've been a great guest. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful Wednesday. That's the W's for wonderful. Bye bye. You want? Oh, yeah. If you want to
huh?
just say bye bye.
Oh yes, yes. Goodbye.
Okay. Yeah. Woo, Sin, awesome, cool guy, great guy. I like Sin. Sin's great. He's the best. He's better than most anyway. Yeah, Sin is dead and I killed him. I lived a life of sin. Well, actually, he lived a life of sin. That was the only life he could live because he is Sin. If he didn't live a life of sin, he wouldn't be Sin. He'd be like John or Kevin. So, yeah, of course he lived a life of sin. Anyway, thanks for hanging out in the Charlie Drexperience, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a blast. I had fun. Sin had fun. I'm speaking on his behalf because he's dead now. He can't speak for himself anymore. So Sin had so much fun. He's like just living it up. He loves life. He loved being on the Charlie Drexperience. He would recommend it to anybody. Next week, I'm not going to name any names. You'll have to wait for the Sunday schedule reveal, but I've already got a guest lined up. I think you folks who are here in chat that I've seen will really appreciate who the next week's guest is going to be. So look forward to that. Yeah, I don't have anything else. I'm not going to stream anything else tonight because I really don't feel like it, to be frank. Surprise game tomorrow and then 24-hour stream this weekend. Don't forget. So come tune into that. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to Miyu, who is still, I think it's technically still her birthday. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's her birthday, so we're going to raid her. Because if you aren't already watching her stream, why aren't you supporting her birthday? But no, if you guys are not familiar with Miyu, which I'm pretty sure most of you guys are in the same circle. Anyway, she's cool. And also I did her BGM, so there's like a personal connection there, like a reason for me to want her to be successful. Anyway, if you're a sub, I don't have anything special, but like if you can just say Chuck Raid and then drop Pog Chucks is an option. That's what I'm doing. I need to come up with something more creative, right? But like Chuck Raid, yeah, so go say hi to me real quick and then enjoy the rest of your day without me somehow. Okay, thanks for watching the Charlie Drexperience. I love you. Bye.